Hey everyone, welcome back to another Elden Ring video. I hope that everybody is having an absolutely fantastic day. And in today's video, I want to go ahead and go over an incredible bleed build that uses two Godskin peelers. Now, obviously, the first thing that we're going to cover is you can only get one per playthrough, so either one, you're going to have to get someone to give you theirs, or two, you're going to have to play it on New Game Plus in order to get the second one. Now, you could go after the Twin Blade, which you can get pretty much right at the very beginning of the game. I'm going to show you guys where you can get that. Also going to show you guys what talisman to go ahead and use. And I'm not even using the best specific setup for a bleed build, but these things, even with what I'm currently set at, which is like 40 and 40 for dexterity and arcane, I'm actually able to get about 125 as far as the blood loss goes, which is pretty outstanding. But anyway, let's go ahead and kind of dive into what you guys will need, and then we're going to cover everything on where you can obtain all of these different items. So let's go ahead and do that now. So the first thing that I did mention was the Twin Blade. Now the Twin Blade you can actually get down here in these runes right here. You do have to get over a wall that you can't necessarily jump, so you're gonna have to use Torrent in order to jump over that. You'll find a staircase down, go ahead and go into that staircase and then open up the chest at the bottom and you can get your Twin Blade. So if this is your first playthrough and you haven't obtained it, then you're going to want to come here to the Dragon Burnt Runes in order to get that. There is another item in this area, it's a chest, and you'll be teleported to another area. So if you find a chest that's just kind of out in the open, that's not the one that you are looking for. Now, as far as the two Godskin peelers, you do have to be in New Game Plus or have one donated, like I previously mentioned, but you're going to find that at this village right up here. So this Windmill Heights race point will become active and shown once you defeat the Godskin apostle that's in this area. So once you obtain and beat them, you're going to get two different items. You're going to get a black fire spell, and you're also going to get the Godskin peeler. So this is where you can go ahead and obtain that, and I'll show you guys on the screen here right now so you guys can actually see the other item that you are getting from this. So again, I did this in New Game Plus, but if you guys are lucky enough to have a friend that's willing to give up their Godskin peeler, then by all means go ahead and have that donated. But like I said earlier, the Twin Blade will be a really good option, at least until you play your second playthrough. Now, moving on from there, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the different armor pieces that you should be using in this specific set. Now, this White Mask you can get from beating up White Mask Vere, which you do need to either complete his quest line and then go into the area, which is going to be the blood area, and you have to kill him 3 different times, and it can be a little bit tricky. I hate the birds in that area, and the dogs are like one-hit dogs, so you have to be really careful when you guys are going to that area anyway. But if we go to the blood area and take a look, there's 3 spots that the White-Faced Vere will actually go ahead and attack you at. One is going to be right here, and there's going to be a bird right in this location too. So what I recommend is getting as close as you possibly can, and then as soon as your horse or torrent will actually kick you off the horse the first time that you're coming down into this area, then you can just jump off and then start either attacking White-Faced Vere and trying to get kind of backing up a little bit so that the bird doesn't come after you. Because if the bird comes after you, fighting both of them and then fighting the creatures also that are going to be behind you at the same time can be a little bit troublesome and a little bit too much to deal with. That bird is just ridiculous annoying, and it's one of the worst enemies in the entire game if you want my opinion on it. So that's one spot that you're gonna find them. The next one is going to be right by a golden seed, which will be right in this location right here, and then the last one will be right in this location. There is going to be another bird right about here. There's going to be dogs here and on this rock and also on this rock, so just be really careful about the direction that you guys choose to kind of work your way around in here. And then there's 2 birds up in this area that typically won't bother you. So after you kill the first one, go kind of down the edge here, attack the next white face fairy and then move on to the next one. And if you really want to, and you have this palace approach ledge road, what you can do is you can actually kill the bird from right here like you would do if you're doing the rune farm. Then that way it gets rid of this bird right in this location, so you don't have to worry about that specific bird later. All right, so now the next one is going to be the black feather outfit that I have. Now what this one does is it actually increases your jump attack. So this raptor's a black feather armor piece can be found in the Sage Cave, which is going to be over by the Volcano Manor area, which should be right there. So it's actually going to be in a spot just before the boss room. So make your way down there. It's you'll get that cape, and that's what will help you with a jump attack. So what you really want to be able to do is just do a jump, and then you can push your L1 button, and that gives you a nice little attack, and then you can kind of move through it. But also what you want to do is make sure that you have seppuku, and then you're going to want to equip the left hand one first, and then go ahead and apply it. And then you're going to go ahead and use both of them, and then you can apply the second one, so that way you get your seppuku on both weapons, and then that will give you even that much more damage. Now if you want that specific Ash of War, what you're going to want to do is head on up to the mountaintops of the giants, and you're going to find an invisible beetle, a scarab in this area, and then you just have to time it correctly, go ahead and kill it, and you're going to obtain this Ash 4, and then you can have it duplicated, or you can go and get it later. I got a whole bunch of them just because I use most of my duplications for this one, because it is one that is extremely powerful, especially when you're able to put it on 2 weapons just like this. So that combination alone is going to proc a lot of critical hits on enemies, especially that one, and then you're going to knock them over or just be able to kill them pretty much instantly. No other combination does that many moves at one time, so you should be able to get a nice critical hit from doing that move. Now moving on from there, we do have the Rotten Wing Sword Insignia. Now this one is going to be one of the rewards from completing Millicent's questline. You can either choose to challenge her, or you can fight with her. And if you go all the way to the very end of the story and accept to fight with her, this will be your reward for that. Now the next one is going to be the Lord of Blood's Exaltation, which is going to be blood loss in vicinity to increase your attack power. Obviously we're using seppuku, and we're going to be creating a lot of blood loss in the area, so this one is highly essential for this specific build. Now for this one, you're going to have to make your way to the catacombs in the capital, which I haven't been in there with my current walkthrough, but what you're going to want to do is make your way down to the subterranean grounds. And then eventually you're going to find the Priests of the Blood in the catacombs, like I was just mentioning. And when you defeat that specific enemy, you're going to get it. And its location should be right around in here. So if you realize or start to see that you're in the catacombs and you're kind of in this area, that is where you're going to find it. Somewhere like right in here or right in here is you should be able to find that specific talisman. Now the two that I am using, which I will go over another possibility that you could use to actually increase even more of a jump attack, is I'm using Taker's Cameo, which is going to be obtained from completing the Volcano Manor assassinations. And then the next one is going to be the Godskin Swaddling Cloth, which will be obtained really close to where you find seppuku, which is going to be up in the mountaintops of the giants, and it's going to be at this cave right here. Now this cave does require you guys to use a stone sword key, so go ahead and make your way inside of that one if you want to be able to restore your HP with consecutive hits. Now there are a couple other ones that you guys could potentially look at. The one that I would recommend for a talisman, if you don't want to use the HP ones, is going to be this one right here, the Claw Talisman, which enhances your jump attack, which I previously stated that in order to get the best possible combination and to proc that bleed and to proc the critical hits, doing that jump attack with the jump L1, this is what you want to be able to do. Now this one is a little bit interesting to get to, but you can get it really at the very beginning of the game, and it's going to be found at Stormville Castle. It is on a rooftop. I can't remember which one it's really close to, but it's at there's a ramp that goes outside, and there's a knight that's kind of in that same area. And you're going to go out into the outside, and then you're going to traverse across the rooftops, and eventually you're going to find it. And you'll find it like right in the middle of this entire courtyard area is where it's going to be at. It's going to be at the top, and there's going to be a couple eagles that will be right around it. So if you kind of see that, I don't have the video footage for it, so I do apologize for that, but it's going to be right in this location. It is pretty easy to get once you can find the exit to get outside from that one of the gray sites. It's not very far from one of the gray sites, and then you can just make your way out on top. But like I said, I'm currently at a 42 and a 40 for dexterity, so not even really that high, and I'm doing pretty decent damage. Most of my setup right now is based on a mage or a sorcerer, because that is what I was playing as, and that's what I'm trying to play more as to get better at it. But and I don't have a ton of points or attributes put into those specific categories. But hopefully this video does help you guys out. If it does, make sure that you guys go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe down below. It would help me out a lot and is greatly appreciated. But until next time, YouTube, you guys keep doing what you're doing because you're already doing it, and you guys stay gaming. Test, test, test.